All right, everyone, buckle up. Today, we're taking a deep dive into something that's, well, it's pretty darn important, especially here in the Lone Star State, voter registration.
Definitely a hot topic.
You already know Texas isn't exactly leading the pack when it comes to making registration easy peasy, but after digging into the research you sent over, whoa, let's just say I'm even more surprised.
Oh, more surprised in a good way, or?
Let's just say old school doesn't even begin to cover it. We're talking seriously limited options here.
All right, I'm intrigued. Lay it on me. What's the deal with voter registration in Texas? It can't be that bad, can it?
Well, picture this. It's 2024, right? You want to register to vote. Your choices, according to this info you sent, are basically snail mail.
Snail mail. Seriously.
Yep. Or you can trek down to the county office.
Ah, the good old-fashioned bureaucratic adventure.
Right. Like, who has time for that? The only digital glimmer of hope is if, and only if, you're updating your driver's license at just the right moment.
Hold on, so it's like winning a prize. You might get to register online.
It's kind of like that, yeah. I mean, come on. In the age of instant everything, having to practically jump through hoops just to register to vote. Well, it's mind-boggling.
It really makes you realize how essential online accessibility is becoming, especially with younger generations. I mean, this is a demographic that practically lives online.
True that. Online is everything these days.
Exactly. Disappointment meant like digging out your checkbook, finding a stamp, the whole 9 yards.
Ugh, don't even get me started on stamps. Talk about a relic from the past.
Right. That's the level of disconnect we're talking about. And realistically, that kind of system, it could be a huge DE roadblock to voter turnout. People are busy.
All kidding. It makes you wonder, what is the deal with Texas dragging its feet on this? Like, what's the holdup?
It's a good question.
Yeah.
A lot of times you hear folks talking about voter fraud.
Right, that's always the go-to, isn't it?
Totally.
Yeah.
Or keeping voter data accurate.
Is there really anything to those concerns? I mean, come on, it's 2024.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
that's where it gets interesting. While those concerns definitely get tossed around like a lot,
Yeah.
the fact is there just isn't much evidence to suggest that online registration is inherently less secure. Seriously. Loads of other states have already jumped on board with online voter registration, and guess what? No major issues. It begs the question, if it isn't about those concerns, then what's really driving this resistance to, join the 21st century?
It's like Texas is clinging to its flip phone while everyone else is on the latest smartphone. But okay, let's say Texas has its reasons, right? Even if they're a little outdated. What's the real-world impact of all this?
Well, now that's the million-dollar question, isn't it?
It goes beyond just a little inconvenience.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
The word that keeps popping up is cumbersome. And honestly, trying to navigate this system, it does feel a bit like trying to find a phone booth in 2024 just to make a call.
Haha. Okay, that's a little dramatic, but I get your point.
But on a serious note, there's this other word, disenfranchisement.
Yeah, that one carries some weight.
For sure. And rightfully so. Disenfranchisement goes way beyond just making voting a pain. It's about potentially discouraging people from participating altogether.
Especially those who, like you said earlier, practically live their lives online.
Exactly. It's like saying, hey, you were born in the digital age. Too bad. We're doing things the old-fashioned way.
You know, that actually reminds me, we were talking about the limited online options, right? There was this one thing in the research you sent that just made me scratch my head. Apparently, you can register online in Texas, but only if you're updating your driver's license.
Right.
It's like, make up your mind, Texas. You're dipping your toes in the digital pool, but you're still holding onto the side for dear life.
I know, right? It is kind of a head-scratcher. I mean, it does seem like they're trying to balance security with making things a little easier. But offering a digital option only in one specific situation, it's not exactly a solution, is it?
Not really. More like a Band-Aid on, well, let's be honest, kind of a big problem. So what's the takeaway for our listeners? Where does all this leave us?
In a nutshell, Texas voter registration, it's complicated, it's outdated, and it's probably discouraging a whole lot of people from making their voices heard.
Which is a crying shame, honestly. But hey, at least we're talking about it, right?
Yeah.
And who knows, maybe with enough voices chiming in, things will finally start to change.
I hope so.
Me too. But in the meantime, we want to hear from you. What do you think, listeners? What's the best way forward here? How do we balance security, accessibility, and efficiency when it comes to voter registration in Texas? Hit us up with your thoughts.
Let's get this conversation going.
Texas might be lagging behind for now, but hey, it's not over till it's over, right? Your voice matters, all of them. Make sure you're registered and ready to use it.